Imagine spending weeks preparing your scholarship application. You carefully write your motivation letter, you update your CV, you collect your transcripts, you ask your professors for recommendation letters. Finally, you click submit. Days turn into weeks. Then one morning, an email arrives. We regret to inform you. At that moment, it's easy to wonder, was I simply not good enough? But in many cases, the real reason isn't a lack of ability. It's a series of small, avoidable mistakes that quietly weaken an otherwise strong application. Today, I'll walk you through 10 of the most common scholarship application mistakes, and, more importantly, show you how to avoid them. Because scholarships aren't won by perfect applicants. They're won by applicants who prepare strategically. Let's begin. Let's begin with one of the most common and most costly mistakes. Many applicants spend hours writing a motivation letter before they truly understand what the scholarship is looking for. They assume that a strong application is simply a collection of good documents. But scholarship committees don't evaluate applications in isolation. They evaluate them against specific selection criteria. Every scholarship has a purpose. Some are looking for future researchers. Others value leadership. Some focus on community service. Others emphasize innovation, entrepreneurship, or international collaboration. If your application doesn't clearly demonstrate the qualities that the scholarship is designed to support, even an excellent academic record may not be enough. Successful applicants do something different. Before they write a single sentence, they carefully study the scholarship guidelines. They ask themselves, what qualities does this scholarship value most? What evidence can I provide for each requirement? Which parts of my experience best match these priorities? Instead of trying to tell their entire life story, they focus on what matters most to the selection committee. That simple shift changes the entire application. Before you move on to the next mistake, remember this. A scholarship application isn't about telling the committee everything you've done. It's about showing them the experiences that best match what they're looking for. Once you understand the selection criteria, every other part of your application becomes stronger. Now, let's look at the second mistake, one that weakens thousands of applications every year. Writing a generic motivation letter. A motivation letter is one of the most personal parts of your scholarship application. Yet, it's also where many applicants make one of the biggest mistakes. They write a letter that could be sent to almost any scholarship. It sounds professional. It has good grammar. It even looks impressive. But there's one problem. It doesn't sound personal. Scholarship committees read hundreds, sometimes thousands of motivation letters. They quickly recognize generic phrases like, I have always wanted to study abroad. Education is the key to success. I am hardworking and passionate. These statements may be true, but they don't explain your story. Successful applicants take a different approach. Instead of asking, what sounds impressive? They ask, what makes my journey unique? They explain why they chose their field. They describe the experiences that shaped their goals. They connect those experiences to the purpose of the scholarship. Most importantly, they show why this particular scholarship matters to them. A strong motivation letter doesn't try to impress the committee with beautiful words. It builds a genuine connection through authenticity, purpose, and clarity. Because at the end of the day, people remember stories far more than they remember generic statements. Before you begin your motivation letter, ask yourself one simple question. Could I send this exact letter to 10 different scholarships? If the answer is yes, it's probably too generic. Make it personal, make it authentic, make it memorable. because that's exactly what scholarship committees remember. Now let's move to another common misconception, one that causes many talented students to underestimate their true strengths. Many students believe that scholarships are awarded to the applicants with the highest grades. It's an understandable assumption. After all, academic performance is important. Strong grades demonstrate discipline, consistency, and the ability to succeed in challenging environments. But scholarship committees are rarely looking for grades alone. They're looking for people who will make a meaningful contribution to their university, their profession, and their communities. That's why many scholarship applications ask about leadership, volunteer work, research experience, community involvement, and future goals. Imagine two applicants with the same excellent GPA. One submits only a transcript. The other combines strong academics with research experience, leadership, community service, and a clear vision for the future. Which application tells a more complete story? In most cases, the second one. Successful applicants understand that grades open the door, but it's the rest of the application that often determines who receives the scholarship. Scholarships are investments in future leaders, innovators, researchers, and change-makers. Your transcript shows what you've achieved. Your experiences show what you're capable of becoming. Your grades may earn attention, but your leadership, initiative, research, and purpose are what make your application memorable. So, don't just present your academic record, present your potential. Now let's explore another mistake that prevents many excellent applicants from standing out. Many applicants spend most of their motivation letter listing achievements, their grades, their certificates, their awards, their experiences. These accomplishments matter, but on their own, they don't tell the committee who you are. Scholarship committees don't just want to know what you've achieved. They want to understand why those achievements matter to you. What inspired your journey? What challenges shaped your perspective? Why did you choose this field? And what impact do you hope to make in the future? Your personal story creates meaning behind your accomplishments. It transforms a list of achievements into the journey of a real person with purpose. That doesn't mean your story has to be dramatic. Authenticity is far more powerful than exaggeration. Sometimes the most compelling stories are the simplest ones. Moments that changed the way you think, strengthened your determination, or inspired your future goals. A memorable scholarship application doesn't simply present qualifications. It shows the person behind those qualifications. Strong academic performance is an important part of a scholarship application. But scholarship committees are often looking for something more. They want to invest in people who will create positive change. That's why many scholarship programs ask about leadership, volunteering, community service, mentoring, student organizations, or social impact. Leadership doesn't always mean holding a prestigious title. Sometimes it's mentoring a younger student, organizing a local project, supporting your community, taking initiative when others hesitate. These experiences demonstrate qualities that grades alone cannot measure. They show responsibility, compassion, teamwork, initiative, and the ability to inspire others. Successful applicants don't simply list achievements. They show how those achievements have benefited other people. Scholarships aren't only investments in education. They're investments in future leaders who will make a lasting contribution to their communities and professions. Your academic CV is often the first document a scholarship committee reviews. Before they read your motivation letter, before they consider your research interests, they form an initial impression from your CV. Many applicants believe that a stronger CV is simply a longer CV. So they include every course, every certificate, every activity, and every small achievement. The result is a document that's difficult to read and even harder to remember. Successful applicants take a different approach. They organize their CV with the reviewer in mind. They use clear section headings, consistent formatting, concise descriptions, and they place their most relevant achievements where they can be seen immediately. Remember, scholarship committees may review dozens or even hundreds of applications. Your CV should help them understand your strengths within seconds, not force them to search for them. A well-structured academic CV reflects professionalism, attention to detail, and respect for the reviewer's time. Recommendation letters are one of the few parts of your scholarship application written by someone else. That makes them incredibly valuable. Unfortunately, many applicants make the same mistake. They choose the most senior or well-known professor they can find, even if that professor barely knows them. A famous name may attract attention, but a generic recommendation rarely adds much value. Successful applicants think differently. They ask, "Who knows my work best?" The strongest recommendation letters don't simply praise an applicant. They provide evidence. They describe specific situations, how you solved a difficult problem, how you contributed to a research project, how you demonstrated leadership, how you worked effectively as part of a team. These real examples make your application far more convincing. Remember, scholarship committees are not looking for impressive signatures. They are looking for credible insights into your abilities and potential. A sincere, detailed recommendation from someone who knows you well is often much more powerful than a generic letter from someone famous. One of the most common scholarship mistakes has nothing to do with intelligence or ability. It's simply running out of time. Many applicants underestimate how long a strong application takes to prepare. A compelling motivation letter may require several revisions. Recommendation letters need to be requested well in advance. Official transcripts can take time to obtain. Some scholarships also require translations, language certificates, or additional supporting documents. When everything is left until the final days, small mistakes become much more likely. Files are uploaded in the wrong format. Important details are overlooked, recommendation letters arrive late, and proofreading is often skipped entirely. Successful applicants approach the process differently. They break the application into manageable steps. They create a timeline. They request documents early. They revise their essays multiple times. And they leave enough time for careful review before clicking submit. Starting early doesn't just reduce stress. It gives you the opportunity to produce your very best work. After spending weeks preparing an application, many students make one final mistake. They submit it without a careful review. At that point, they're tired. The deadline is close, and they assume everything is ready. But scholarship committees often notice details that applicants overlook. A misspelled scholarship name, the wrong university mentioned in a motivation letter, inconsistent formatting, missing pages, or documents with confusing file names. None of these mistakes automatically disqualify an applicant, but together they can create the impression that the application was rushed. Successful applicants build proofreading into their process. They review every document carefully. They check names, dates, formatting, and file names. They read their motivation letter one final time. And whenever possible, they ask someone they trust to review the application with fresh eyes. A polished application doesn't just communicate your qualifications. It communicates your professionalism. Perhaps the most painful mistake isn't found in your motivation letter, or your CV, or your recommendation letters. It's giving up after your first rejection. Receiving a scholarship rejection can be deeply discouraging. You spend weeks preparing your application. You hope for good news. Instead, you receive an email that begins with, "We regret to inform you." It's natural to feel disappointed, But it's important to remember something. A rejection letter is a decision about one application. It is not a judgment about your worth, your potential, or your future. Many successful scholarship recipients were rejected before they received the opportunity that changed their lives. The difference wasn't luck, it was persistence. They reflected on what they could improve. They strengthened their CV, refined their motivation letter, gained more experience, and applied again. Every application teaches you something. Every revision makes you stronger. Every challenge prepares you for the next opportunity. Success rarely comes from never failing. It comes from refusing to stop growing. We've covered 10 common mistakes that can weaken even strong scholarship applications. Now, let's bring everything together into one practical checklist. Before you submit your next application, take a few moments to ask yourself these questions. Have I carefully read the scholarship requirements? Is my motivation letter tailored specifically to this scholarship? Have I shown more than just my grades? Does my application reflect my leadership, research, and community involvement? Does my personal story explain why this opportunity matters to me? Have I chosen recommendation letters from people who truly know my work? Did I prepare early enough to revise and improve my application? Have I proofread every document carefully? And finally, am I submitting an application that truly represents my best work? If you can answer yes to each of these questions, you've already taken an important step toward becoming a stronger scholarship applicant. Thank you so much for watching. I hope today's video helps you prepare stronger scholarship applications with greater confidence. If you found this video helpful, please consider liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and sharing it with someone who is also preparing for scholarships or studying abroad. And if you have any questions or topics you'd like me to cover in future videos, let me know in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you.